Hi, Jo Ramsey here, and I've had or witnessed online a couple of conversations lately um, where people are telling other people what their sexuality is. I don't mean the people that are telling are saying what their own sexuality is. I mean they're telling the other person, oh, you're this. Um, and I was actually one of the recipients of a comment like that. I said that I was straight, which I am. I identify as straight. And I was told, nobody's 100% straight. Everybody's a little bit bi. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that I'm the one who gets to choose how I identify my sexual orientation. Just like each of you watching this gets to choose how you identify. Everybody gets to choose how they identify their gender. People might not know completely what their sexual orientation or gender identity is at any given moment because it's a process of learning. A young woman that I know who currently identifies as demisexual and agender didn't identify those ways even a year ago because she didn't know that agender was even a thing, and she figured out the demisexual part. Demisexual means that you can only be sexually attracted if there's a strong emotional attraction first, for anybody who doesn't know. She knew demisexual was a thing, but she had to figure out that that was how she identified through the process of trying to have relationships with people. So, yeah, it's perfectly cool to refine your identification as time goes on. People do that. And unfortunately, this same young woman has been told that she's a liar because she's changed how she identifies. So she's told that either she's lying now or she was lying in the past. And that's not it. It's a matter of having learned things. So, people might realize as time goes on that maybe they're not 100% straight and they are sometimes attracted to somebody of the same sex. Or they might realize that they're not gender fluid, they're transgender, or whatever the situation is. And it's okay to learn more about yourself and figure out who you are over a course of time. What's not okay, in my opinion, is if you're telling somebody else that they're wrong about how they identify. I was actually kind of offended when I was told you can't be 100% straight because nobody's 100% straight. Whether or not you think that that's true, I'm the one who chooses how I identify. Nobody else gets to tell me that I'm straight or bi or whatever. I'm the one who gets to tell myself that. The young woman I mentioned, nobody gets to tell her that she's female gender or that she's confused, which is something she gets a lot. She's the one who chooses to identify as agender. She's the one who chooses her gender identity. I'm not saying, and I want to make it clear as I'm using the word chooses, I mean chooses the word to use to identify that, not chooses the identification. Like, I'm explaining this really badly, so I'm sorry. Sexual orientation isn't a choice. Gender identity isn't a choice. The choice is how you label it, for want of a better word. So when I say choose, I don't mean that that I'm choosing to be straight. I mean, I'm choosing to say that I'm straight. The young woman I mentioned isn't choosing to be demisexual and agender. She's choosing to say she is. She is those things. That's not a choice. The choice is what she says to explain to other people. Wow, I really hope that's clear, because otherwise I'm going to get a lot of really annoyed comments. Then again, I never get any comments, so maybe I won't. Anyway, point being, nobody has the right to tell anybody else, this is your sexual orientation or this is your gender identity. Each person gets to label or define that for themselves. Each person gets to decide what they tell other people about their sexual orientation or gender identity. And if somebody tells you that their whatever orientation and whatever gender identity, it's whether you agree with them or not, it's really kind of rude, at the very least, to tell them they're wrong, because they're the ones living their life, so they're the ones who know what and who they are. So, just be accepting of other people, be tolerant of other people, and be respectful enough to accept that somebody knows who they are, instead of telling them that they're wrong about it. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you next Monday.